Have you ever left a conversation feeling exhausted for no clear reason, not because someone shouted or insulted you, but because, despite their kindness and sincere compliments, you felt drained, uncertain about yourself, and unsettled by a vague discomfort? This is not your imagination. It's a sign you've encountered someone with hidden intentions, skillfully masked by warmth, care, and friendliness. Dark motives don't always show openly. These individuals don't slam doors or yell. They choose their words carefully. They say exactly what you want to hear, then subtly undermine your emotions, pulling you down and making you question your worth. It might be a coworker who praises you, but quietly sabotages your opportunities, or a loved one who claims to care, yet drains your energy daily. In today's video, we'll explore this quietly harmful behavior with clarity and calm, not drama or fear. We'll examine 5 types of people with subtle, harmful intentions, not to judge or grow cold, but to understand and protect your inner peace, as a Stoic would composed, serene, and unshaken. The first type is the manipulator disguised as a friend. They never raise their voice or openly pressure you. They approach with kindness, warm words, and a nod of goodwill. Yet, if you pay attention, you'll notice that after each encounter, you feel smaller, less confident, and more doubtful than before. This person controls not with force, but by making you feel you need their approval to feel worthy. Their advice sounds sincere, you're truly gifted, but sometimes you act too quickly. Perhaps it's due to inexperience. Their words seem kind, but after the talk, you feel inadequate. What makes them dangerous is you don't realize you're being influenced. They position themselves as your supporter, your confidant, the one who cares most. Yet beneath the surface, they plant seeds of self-doubt, just enough to make you adjust to suit their convenience. I knew someone like this once. He'd praise me in meetings, saying I had leadership potential, but in private talks with our boss, he'd casually mention I seemed unsteady or needed more oversight for consistency. At first, I trusted his feedback as honest. It wasn't until I was passed over for major projects that I realized he wasn't helping me grow. He was keeping me beneath him. He wanted me to believe I needed him, when the truth was the opposite. Stoicism teaches us to stay clear-headed, not angry. Marcus Aurelius never said to rage at such people. He advised observing them as an outsider, using their behavior as a chance to practice clarity and calm. Epictetus wrote, "You cannot control what others say about you, but you can decide what enters your mind." This is the core lesson. Manipulators don't defeat you with actions, but with words and subtle hints that erode your self-belief. By staying clear-headed and grounded in your own worth, their words become like a breeze passing by, harmless and fleeting. If someone leaves you doubting yourself more after each meeting, be cautious. They may not hate you, but they don't want you to outshine them. As a Stoic, your goal isn't to cut them off abruptly, but to maintain inner distance and never let anyone else define your value. Next, the false friend. They don't show obvious negativity. In fact, they make you feel like they're your greatest ally. They listen, agree, and cheer you on. But notice this, they're most present when you're at your lowest, and when you regain strength, they fade or turn sarcastic. These people cherish the weakest version of you. They want you emotionally dependent, but they're not truly happy when you grow stronger. At first, they seem like your safe haven, but as you mature in positive ways, they start to pull away. You'll hear them say, "You've changed so much. Not like you used to be." As if growing is shameful or not needing them is a betrayal. Their jokes often hit your deepest insecurities. Like, "You're looking sharp today. Are you trying to turn back time?" They call it humor, but it's not kindness. It's mockery veiled in a smile. I had a friend like this. She was there when I was down, comforting and attentive. But when I started caring for myself, setting boundaries, and saying no, she began to withdraw. Later, she sent messages like, "You've changed so much." Too busy with new friends to remember the old ones. I hadn't grown cold. I'd simply stopped feeding her emotional reliance. Stoicism doesn't urge loud confrontations. Seneca wisely said, "Don't resent those who lack sincerity. See them as a test of your clarity and inner strength. To discern true kindness, notice how people act when you no longer depend on them. Genuine friends support your growth and celebrate your strength. False friends value you only when you're vulnerable, as it gives them emotional leverage. Stoicism teaches that true connections don't diminish you, don't sow doubt, and never make you feel guilty for growing. If someone only acknowledges your past self and ignores who you're becoming, they're not truly supporting you. They want to keep you where they feel secure. Remember, you owe no one your stagnation. If someone only cares for you when you're weak, that's not friendship. It's dependency dressed as affection. As a Stoic, you don't need to make a scene. Quietly move forward, growing stronger each day. Third, the controller. Some don't demand control openly with orders or threats. Instead, they use something subtler, your emotions, because they act out of love. Their control feels like care. These are often close relationships, spouses, family, or longtime friends. They don't forbid outright. They suggest. They don't demand. They express concern. They say things like, "I worry when you spend time with those people," or "That outfit doesn't suit someone your age," or "Working so far away, aren't you afraid of being taken advantage of?" It sounds reasonable, even protective. But look closely. They're narrowing your world bit by bit. Every choice becomes an emotional negotiation. They don't want your independence. They want your reliance to feel secure. The danger lies in the guilt they stir when you act for yourself. Want time alone, they seem hurt. Reconnect with old friends. They grow distant. Decline their requests. They quietly withdraw, later saying they're disappointed. They don't bind you with chains, but with guilt. I heard of a woman, married 20 years, whose husband never yelled or used force. Yet, over time, she lost her friends, hobbies, and independence. She said, "He only wanted what's best for me, but I felt trapped in a glass cage." That's the prison of overprotection, as Stoics would call it. Marcus Aurelius wrote that true freedom isn't just breaking chains, it's not letting your mind be swayed by others' emotions. When you adjust your actions to ease someone else's feelings, you're living their life, not yours. Ask yourself, am I living to keep their peace or to grow as myself? Genuine love doesn't require your constant presence. It wants you strong, free, and choosing to return, not bound by emotional ties. Stoicism doesn't push rebellion, but teaches clear boundaries between care and control. connection and captivity. You can stay in relationships without letting them define you. You can love without losing yourself. Epictetus said, "If something costs your inner peace, no matter its name, it's not worth it." Fourth, the saboteur. Not everyone attacks with harsh words or obvious actions. Some work quietly, undermining you in subtle ways. They don't openly oppose you, nor do they fully support you. They're present but quick to plant doubts. Often, they're longtime friends, close colleagues, or family. On the surface, they do nothing wrong, but their words dim your enthusiasm. When you share your excitement, they highlight risks, failures, or reasons you might not succeed. You say, "I'm planning to start a small business." They reply, "The economy's tough. Most startups fail quickly. Think carefully before you act." You mention learning a new skill. They say, "At our age, what's the point? Just relax." They don't stop you outright, but their words sow subtle doubts, cloaked as concern. They call it honesty, but it doesn't empower you. It makes you hesitate. I knew someone like this. Whenever I was ready to try something new, he offered advice, never harsh, always reasonable. "I'm just worried for you. That path is stressful. You're doing fine already. Why make things harder?" At first, I valued it, but I realized he only appeared when I was about to grow. After each talk, he felt less certain, more doubtful. This quiet sabotage feels like friendship, sounds like care, and seems like support, which makes it so hard to spot. But if sharing your dreams with someone leaves you less inspired, less confident, that's not care. It's control disguised as realism. Marcus Aurelius taught that the wise don't need others' approval to do what's right. They stay true to their own nature. Don't let others define what's possible for you, especially those who plant doubts under the guise of love. If someone constantly highlights what could go wrong, making you pause more than act, step back. They may not be malicious, but they're not ready to see you shine. Stoicism doesn't urge you to distrust everyone or sever ties, but it teaches this: a clear mind is your strongest shield. Keep it pure, like a mirror, to see who lifts you up and who holds you back. Once you see clearly, you don't need to argue or explain. Simply keep moving forward with strength while they stay behind. Fifth, the energy drainer. Some don't hurt with harsh words or actions, but exhaust you just by being around. They don't criticize or control, yet their presence leaves you weary, heavy, even guilty for feeling so. These people live in constant negativity. They always have a complaint, a pain to share, or an injustice to recount. They don't attack you directly, but they pull you into an emotional abyss you didn't notice falling into. At first, you think you're just being a good listener, offering empathy and support. But over time, you dread their calls or avoid meeting them. After each talk, you feel like you've weathered a storm. They say, "You're the only one I can talk to," and guilt keeps you there. They say, "Nothing ever goes right for me. No one truly cares." You try to comfort them, but they reply, "It's easy for you to say you don't understand." Eventually, you realize they're not seeking solutions. They don't want to heal. Their pain is their identity. And playing the victim is how they feel seen. They don't need a lifeline, just an audience. And that's you. Stoicism doesn't teach coldness, but it offers a vital truth. You can't fill another's cup if yours is empty. Epictetus said a loving soul doesn't carry every burden, but chooses what to bear and what to release. You're allowed to step back from endless tales of woe, not out of cruelty, but to protect your mental strength. I had a friend like this. I gave time, energy, and support, listening and advising. But no matter what I said, nothing changed. It wasn't about growth. They just needed me to validate their pain, to affirm their victimhood. One day, I stepped back, not with anger, but by quietly creating space to preserve my clarity. It wasn't selfish. It was understanding that if I'm drained, my presence becomes hollow. You weren't born to carry the world's weight. Kindness doesn't mean ignoring your boundaries. If someone exhausts you, ask, am I helping them? Or am I chained to their pain? If the answer hurts, it's a sign to step back, recharge, and set new boundaries. Stoicism reminds us to bring light to others. Your own flame must burn brightly first. Once you recognize these types, manipulators, false friends, controllers, saboteurs, and energy drainers, you may wonder what to do. Should you cut them off, confront them, or stay silent? There's no one-size-fits-all answer, but there's a clear path. Respond as a Stoic. Stoicism doesn't demand rigidity or emotional coldness. It teaches purposeful reactions, staying unswayed by others' emotional games, untouched by their negativity, and above all, guarding your inner peace from their influence. With manipulators, stay vigilant. Observe their words like an outsider watching a play, not caught in their subtle web. Ask, am I acting on my values or their influence? With false friends, don't try to fix the relationship or prove your loyalty. True friends rejoice in your growth. Those who don't will guilt you for moving forward. You don't need to apologize for becoming better. Just keep walking your true path. For controllers, stay calm and firm. Say, I value your concern, but this is my decision, and I'll own the outcome. A Stoic doesn't need approval to do what's right, only clarity within. For saboteurs, keep your distance quietly. Stop sharing your deepest dreams with them, and they'll fade away. You don't need applause from those waiting for you to stumble. For energy drainers, remember, kindness doesn't mean exhaustion. You can care, but set limits. Say, I need space today. I'll listen when I'm ready. That's not selfishness, it's self-regulation. The cornerstone of Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius wrote, if someone angers you, ask, have I given them power over my mind? This is a Stoic's constant reminder. When your peace is disturbed by anger, pain, or frustration, pause and ask, did I choose this reaction? Or am I being swept along? True freedom in Stoicism isn't removing toxic people, for they'll always exist, but mastering how you respond to them. You can walk away from a provocative conversation without losing your calm. You can choose not to retaliate, explain, or justify, knowing you've done right. Toxic people only win when they make you lose yourself, and a Stoic never lets that happen. If you notice these patterns in people around you, don't be afraid. You don't need to change them. Focus on changing how you respond. By mastering your reactions, you take a powerful step toward living with the calm strength of a true Stoic. Don't waste energy trying to fix toxic individuals. Don't blame yourself for letting them into your life. See them as challenges that sharpen your growth. clarity, and self-mastery. Each time you hold your boundaries, choose silence over reaction, or walk away in peace, you grow closer to inner freedom. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, when your peace is disturbed, ask, have I given them control over my mind? This question anchors every Stoic. True freedom lies not in removing difficult people, they'll always exist, but in choosing responses that preserve your strength and serenity. You can leave a challenging conversation without losing your composure. You can choose not to argue, justify, or fight back, confident in your choices. Harmful people only gain power when they pull you away from your true self, and a Stoic never allows that. When you recognize these types of people, there's no need for fear. Your task isn't to transform them, but to transform how you engage with them. Each step you take in this direction strengthens your ability to live with Stoic calm and purpose. View these individuals as lessons, not enemies. Each boundary you set, each time you choose peace over reaction, and each moment you walk away with clarity brings you closer to the freedom. Stoicism promises a life guided by your own values, not others' influence. You don't need to defeat toxic people. Your victory lies in ensuring they don't dim your light. By choosing peace over reaction and progress over approval, you triumph in the calm, powerful way of a Stoic. Thank you for watching. If this resonated, please like, subscribe, and share with someone who needs this wisdom. Join us for the next Stoic lesson, where we'll remind you that peace isn't found outside. It begins with how you perceive and respond to the world. Stay strong, stay calm, and keep moving forward.